Good Thursday morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. We've got some coverage numbers to go into. Before I get into the data we've got for this week of Pass Coverage Thursday, though, real quick, as you guys can tell, I've been playing around with my chroma key settings lately, the transparent background stuff, and I'm not having a ton of luck. So before I get started with any Seahawks stuff, if you happen to know how to get this green screen stuff to work a little bit better, a little bit smoother in OBS, please let me know down in the comments. It will be appreciated because I am having a hard time getting the green screen effect to look decent lately. I had it for a long time, but then something got changed and I haven't been able to successfully change it back. But anyway, all right, on to the video. We've got coverage numbers and they're not great, but there is another element of this defense that I think played even worse that caused a lot of these lackluster numbers. So Brady kind of had his way with us. High completion percentage, good amount of yards, couple touchdowns. We did get an interception off of him, but it was a good game for him for sure. And some of it came at the expense of the linebackers, although not as much as maybe we've become used to. Jordan Brooks, he did get targeted a good amount. He got targeted 7 times. Only gave up 4 completions, though, for a grand total of about 62 yards. And he also got credited with the Julio Jones touchdown, which they could have gone a few different ways with that, but I think it's understandable that they went with the Brooks angle. And that's not really going to be helping his case. We're taking a look at at a linebacker who was giving up an average of slightly more than 50 yards a game. He's got 4 touchdowns through 10 games, so you're looking at on pace for about 7. And his QB rating against is 140.1, but this doesn't surprise us anymore because this is who Brooks is. Not good in coverage. Looking at Brooks's body of work in this, his third year, theoretically his breakout year, I think he can be a really nice MLB2 in a 3-4 defense, but I'm hoping the opportunity arises for us to go get an MLB1 this offseason. Cody Barton had a more successful game. He actually held up pretty well in general. His big weakness as a player is that when he gets a blocker on him, he may as well be nuked to the other side of the stadium. But in this game in coverage, not only did he make the interception, he only got targeted 4 times when he was on the field, 60 plays for 3 completions and not a significant amount of yards, only 14. Combine that with the interception, and you have a pretty good game. None of the other linebackers got targeted at all in this game outside of Bruce Irvin. He got targeted once and gave up 2 yards. So, still doing okay there. I will say that. The main interesting point to make out of this grouping of players would be the fact that I've long said, ever since Cody Barton got here, that I feel like he can be a really good cover linebacker in this league because he's fast, and I believe he has the skill set of a potentially good cover player based off what he did in college. Hasn't happened really yet. It happened a little bit his rookie year, but overall it hasn't. But in this game, he showed you maybe a little bit of what he can do. And look, I know he's playing less than he was before, but you compare his numbers to Brooks's numbers, and there's a pretty radical difference here. So, unfortunately, I don't think Barton's a good enough all-around player to stick. But credit where credit's due, he actually played a pretty good game against the Bucks, despite being forced out there for about 60, no, excuse me, 80% of the snaps. Just too many limitations there for him to truly be a great player. But that's it for the linebackers. Moving on to the cornerbacks here. Jones and Burns off the table right now. So Tariq Woolen, Brady went after him a little bit, not as much as some of these other guys, which makes sense, right? But Brady threw at him 5 times and completed, I believe, 3 passes for a non-trivial number of yards, about 26. Still not bad. He did give up that 1 touchdown, Brady's second touchdown pass that probably should have been called back because of OPI, but whatever. And he did pick up an interception. And according to PFR, his QB rating allowed is still below 60. That's a lot better than what PFF has. I don't know what the distinction that PFF is making from PFR, but we're still talking about a phenomenal rookie corner here. Any corner who's holding the opposing quarterback to a below 60 rating through 10 games is doing something right. When you're literally holding a quarterback down to the point where it's barely better than just throwing an incomplete pass on every drop back. Like his QB rating allowed would be better if it was 0 completions and 0 interceptions on 42 attempts, but we're getting to the point where not by much. Michael Jackson, he did get targeted a few times as well, 4 times to be precise, gave up 3 completions for a grand total of 32 yards. So, pretty decent game for a starting corner in the league. You will certainly live with that. And his QB rating allowed against is below 72. So, we've got 2 high-level outside corners right now. Jackson just needs to start picking the ball off. So, pretty good stuff. Kobe Bryant, however, he might have been the cornerback who really got thrown at. He got targeted 5 times, gave up 5 completions for a grand total of 67 yards. 67 yards. Not the worst. He's done worse this year, but we're starting to see some of the cracks shine through with Kobe at the... Well, we saw the cracks from the start, right? But then the cracks started to heal a little bit. Now they're kind of going the other way. So, Kobe, 2 rough games in a row for him in coverage, giving up a lot of completions. He's done a fairly good job keeping things short. But you still look at it, he's on pace to give up about 1,000 yards in coverage, or just shy of it. He's on pace to give up more yards than Jordan Brooks, and Jordan Brooks was the far and away leader in this category for a while. So, I don't know what's going to happen going forward, but if Kobe continues to have these issues, I wonder if Trey Brown's going to get the opportunity to slide inside there. Not necessarily his strength as a player either, but he could be better than what Kobe's giving you right now. Ryan Neal did not get targeted once in coverage. He continues to play really good football. He's barely been targeted lately. He got an interception against the Chargers, and then everyone just went, okay, I guess we can't throw to him anymore. I guess. That seems to be what's happened. Quandre Diggs, however, got thrown at a few times, which is kind of rare for him. 3 times, gave up a grand total of 3 completions for a grand total of 55 yards. So, not his best game. He obviously got embarrassed in run defense as well on that one play. Obviously, you look at it, he's still generally doing his job in coverage. He's on pace to allow, 350 receiving yards in coverage this year, and maybe a second touchdown. Obviously, the interceptions are wanting, but this is... A lot of people are talking about Diggs, and I'm probably going to have to make another video about this in the near future with the way people are talking about Diggs lately. This is still not a bad player. This is a player who is not what he was last year. This is a player who is probably still going through some issues recovering from his massive injury last year. But this is not a bad player. So to the people out there who want to eat a bunch of dead money to get him off the team next year or whatever, or want to trade him, I don't see it. I don't see it. I certainly don't see him as being enough of a net negative to consider doing things like eating 10 mil plus in dead money just to get him off the team. So we'll see where things go for the rest of the year. Not Quandre's best game, but you look at the overall numbers this year, you still say, as a free safety, he's doing his job. We don't give up a ton of big plays either, really, so that's what the free safety's here for. Okay, see you guys later. Go Hawks.